This week on the Bedroom Talk Show, we're discussing holistic health. Is it fake or real? With your host, Crystal J. And this week's guest is Dr. Tursha. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome to the Bedroom Talk Show. You already know who it is. It's your girl, Crystal J. I'm here with another black queen. Yes, another black queen. Yeah, I know how I am about my black sisters. And something new. This is a topic we have not discussed. I'm super excited to discuss this because I always wanted to know about this type of medicine practice. And what is it? I am very uneducated in this topic. So I am looking like you to become educated with this doctor. And with you guys, I can't wait to introduce her. Let's get right to it. Like I said, you guys already know it's the Bedroom Talk Show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this amazing channel. Because every week I'm keep bringing you dope black business owners and other business owners as well that can educate us about new business, or we also can support their businesses as well. So let's get into it. Hey,
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I'm happy to have you. Let me be honest, you guys, before we get into this full conversation. You guys, I had another guest planned, but I had to, in showbiz, they say you got to stay ready. You can't get ready, you have to stay ready. And I want to say within the last month, I have understood that term. I have to stay ready and not get ready because I have to be prepared for if it gets canceled. I have to be prepared to have my next guest lined up. And I want to say thank you for being on my platform. Thank you for even extending to want to come and do this last minute episode with me because I wasn't stressing because I had other options, but I wanted this episode to be great because number one, what is holistic health? What is holistic medicine? Like, what is that? Like, we see a lot of false information on TikTok. We see a lot of false information online. So I thought it would be dope to have a doctor who actually specializes in it. So, Dr. Hamilton, tell us your story.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So I have always wanted to be a doctor, a physician. Excuse me. Since I was like 3 or 4 years old. Did all of the social science programs, all of the pre-med programs in junior high school, got my undergrad degree in biology pre-med. But when I graduated, for whatever reason, and I don't even remember at this point, I got disgruntled. And I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be a doctor. Medicine is rigged. Like, I don't know. It was all of the militant, whatever you want to call it. So I had to figure out what I wanted to be when I grew up. There was a community of people that I found who they didn't trust doctors. So they only went to doctors for diagnosis. And then they went home and they used things like fasting and herbs and juicing, things like that to help heal their body. I had never been exposed to that. So I didn't know anything about it. I was fascinated. So what I decided was this must be the way that I needed to show up in the world. And from that, I started to learn more about herbs, more about food and juicing and fasting and things like that. And it was during that period of my life that I met someone in that community who said, "You should be a naturopathic doctor." Had no clue what that was. But when I looked it up, it just made sense. I found the naturopathic medical schools in the US. There are currently like six in the US, two in Canada, and one in Puerto Rico that actually are 4-year medical programs that focus on conventional medicine and holistic therapies. So that when we see a patient, when we see a client, regardless of what they have, we have the tools to be able to help them. And when I saw that, I was like, this just makes sense because humans have been on earth for thousands and thousands of years. Modern medicine has been on earth for 150, maybe 200 years. So even though holistic medicine, indigenous medicine, herbal medicine, it's not perfect, it has gotten us to this point. And so to be able to marry the two medicines, the conventional world and the holistic world, I thought was brilliant. I thought was beautiful, and I'm really glad I did it because it gives me an opportunity to be able to actually support my patients and my clients, support their bodies in actually achieving some level of healing, as opposed to continuing to put band-aids on conditions. So that is basically my story, why I did it, and why I continue to work in this area. Even though my role in this area has shifted a bit, I still use a lot of what I learned every single day to help people to move from illness to wellness. And that's basically my story.
I love how somebody introduced you to it. I have heard about it, of course, but I've never done anything holistic to him about it. I have a friend who believes in that. She doesn't
Okay.
believe in medicine, neither do I, but she used that. I met her, and of course, she's not fully black, and she's always talk about it. Whenever she gets sick, she's like, "He go the right herbs for you," and I'm like, "Okay." She would give me lavender. I'd be like, "Okay," and I'd be like, "What is this for?" And she'd tell me the properties, and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. It's the holistic way," and I'd be like, "Okay." And I know that it's taken a lot for people to finally realize that, hey, it's nothing wrong with holistic medicine or the health part of it. I know some people still think it's fake, but no, I did a little research before we went live. No, it ain't fake. So my question to you is, we're gonna get right into the next question. What is holistic medicine? And
So
what is the benefits of going this route versus the new traditional route of of the commercial medicine?
So the first thing I want to say is that I am definitely not opposed to conventional medicine, what we consider as medicine right now. I'm not opposed to it. My feeling is that everything has its place. It's my thought, it is my belief that holistic medicine should be first line medicine, for most people, because holistic medicine is basically a system of medicine that tries to get to the root of what is going on in the body and support the body in whatever ways it needs to be supported in order to optimize the body's innate healing ability. So holistic medicine is very real, because if you think about it, your body is going to heal if given the right circumstances. For example, if you get a cut on your hand, if you just leave it, your hand is going to work to stop bleeding, it's going to start scarring over, and it's going to do some level of healing on its own, depending on whether it's infected, whether it's dirty, whether you continue to pick at it. If you keep bumping it, it's not. If you are very ill, if you are low nutrient status, those things are going to hinder your body from healing optimally. But if your body is internally healthy, if you clean the wound, if you put the right things on it, whether that is a band aid or using herbs or whatever it is, um, that's going to help the wound heal better. And so, holistic medicine is looking for what it is your body needs in order to optimize that innate healing ability throughout your entire body. Now, for some people, that might be herbs, some people, that might be nutrition, that might be mind thought processes, that might be emotional healing, that might be spiritual healing, because as a human, we are all of those things. And any one of those things that are out of alignment can actually throw your body into a state of dis-ease or disease. So holistic therapies are added to the body to actually optimize that healing ability. Um, Again, it may not always be herbs. It might be food. It might be therapy. It might be leaving your job. It might be leaving a relationship. It might be all of those things. But that is the idea of holistic medicine.
So I want to go back to you. It was two things you said, but you said it could be therapy.
Yeah.
So do you mean, let's say I'm just going to therapy just to like figure some things out?
Mhm.
Is that also a part of holistic medicine?
Absolutely. You are a mind, body,
Okay.
spirit individual. And so your mind
Hmm.
is an integral part. And if you are, first of all, let me say, I believe that all of us need to be in therapy because
Hold
not
on.
be
Facts. Yes. Yes. Do you not know therapy has, and my therapist is watching, I love you. But do you not know therapy has helped me, and it still is helping me,
Mhm.
realizing some of the traumas I had as a kid, some of the things I had to now I have to, as it is bleeding to your adulthood. Now I got to work on these things to correct these things. So I never knew that therapy is a way of holistic health. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
I've been
because
practicing it for about a year now, I guess.
so you have been working on holistic therapies. So if you think about it this way, or
Hmm.
whomever is watching, if you think about it this way, um, all of us are trying to figure out the next step in life. Most of us have not learned coping skills. We have not learned anger management. We have not learned how to process things. We have not learned, like, the society that we live in doesn't really value those types of things. And so, if you can go to a therapist, somebody who's been trained in not necessarily just diagnosing what is wrong with us, because that is part of the stigma and what the problem is.
Hmm.
The problem that we feel is going with therapy. But these are people who are trained to give you coping skills, to give you techniques to be able to unravel what's happened in the past and navigate the future, so that as you move forward, you can do it with less stress, more grace, more energy, more tools, more innate tools that you have. And that's the whole point of therapy. And if somebody has traumas in their past, it's really hot, y'all, so there's that, sorry about that. But if somebody has traumas in their past, it can affect
You fine, girl.
so
We in the
many
South.
different parts of their lives. For example, when I was in naturopathic medical school, one of the rotations that I went on was with a naturopathic midwife. She had been working with pregnant women and catching babies for like 30 years. So of course I'm trying to soak up all that knowledge from her. And she was like a hippie in the past, like you could really tell. She was so dope. But one of the things that she said was that when she's working with a woman, she had to learn to, on her intake, ask the question of ask about trauma, past trauma, especially sexual trauma, because what she found was that those women who had been abused, who had sexual abuse in her past, had a generally had a harder time giving birth to their babies. And once she could work with those women, or at least recommend they see a therapist, they start working through some of that trauma. Their birth experience wasn't as painful, wasn't as traumatic. So, those women going through therapy helped them have a better birthing experience. Who would have thought therapy would give you an easier birth, right? And that's just one example. We hold pain and trauma in our bodies. So you might have a pain because of something that has happened mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So therapy is going to help you with all of that. And therapy is not talking to your friend, talking to your pastor, talking to your significant other. That is
No,
not therapy.
that's
That
not
is not
therapy at
therapy.
all.
That can help, but that's not therapy, and that's not fair to them, to for you to dump all of your issues on them, and it's not fair to you because that person generally doesn't know how to help you move past that. So going to someone who is knowledgeable about how to reframe those things, how to help you talk about those things, that's important. And that's why talking to a therapist, a counselor, or some other practitioner who is trained in these things is valuable, because that's going to help your health overall to just move forward.
I want to stop you right there. I agree with you. Like, I want to say it took me a minute to stop emotionally dumping myself onto my friends. And now, as at the point, I tell my friends, I just rather call my therapist or talk to my therapist. I don't have to talk to y'all about anything no more. So now I literally, Harley, they tell me I'm secretive now, and I don't tell them anything. I said, because I have a therapist that I pay, and I tell my therapist everything. I don't. I no longer have that desire to emotionally dump myself onto you unless you really ask me, "Hey, Crystal, what do you have going on
Mhm.
today?" Or "How are you mentally?" You have to ask me the right questions, and then I will probably emotionally dump on you. But as of lately, I haven't done it. I talk to my therapist about everything. I be like,
Right.
I call my therapist my best friend because you know why? She can't tell nobody anything. She can't, and she can help me through all my personal problems.
Yeah.
And she can't go to her husband. Oh, let me tell you what Crystal did
Right.
last week.
Right. And that's not to say don't.
So I think therapy is important.
Right. And that's not to say don't talk to
Hmm?
your friends. That's not to say, don't have conversations with your minister or your spiritual leader or your family member. That's not to say that at all. What that means is don't completely depend on them for your healing, because, again, that's not fair to them or you.
The healing
Sharing,
started in yourself.
dope. Right. Sharing is dope.
Hmm.
But dumping on people is not, it's not dope.
It also it's emotionally draining. Can you imagine you being my friend and every time you call me is about some drama and I have to listen to that? Can you imagine? Like my mindset is so different since I started therapy. Like, can you imagine just having that one friend? They always call you like, "Girl, he cheated on me," or "I moved," or whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. But every time they call you, is some drama included. And as you got the phone, you are emotionally tired or your energy is just drained. I call that emotionally dumping. And I know for a fact I did it with my friends when I had went through a breakup. And I was really in my feelings and I was really, I'm gonna be honest, depressed.
Yeah.
I was emotionally dumping on my friends. And I'm proud of myself now because I have no desire to emotionally dump on them. I still talk to them, but it's not like, girl, I don't tell my life story. It's more between me and my
Yeah, and that's a
therapist at
good
this
thing.
point.
That's a sign of healing and growth. Absolutely. So congratulations to you.
Yes, and growth is not easy. It is a mindset change, literally. When you start to really try to heal and grow as a person and as an individual, as a mom, a friend, it really your healing and your growth are the
Yes.
same. When I tell you growth, my growth has been real, girl. Whew, okay, y'all. I need like what? Okay, what are some principles of holistic medicine? I know we just talked about therapy. Let's talk about holistic medicine. But what are some principles that we should be looking for when we trying to get
So
into
I'll
this
tell you,
lifestyle?
I'll answer the question this way, and then let me know if you want me to answer it a different way. There are six principles in naturopathic medicine, six major principles that we sort of use and sort of guide us in helping us to do our jobs better. Excuse me. The first one I already talked about is um, vis medicatrix naturae. That's the Latin name that means the healing power of nature. And that's basically what I was talking about when I talked about having the cut on your hand. Your We want to optimize that healing ability, and so that means sometimes you might have to fast away from something. You might have to cleanse. You might have to, and that means cleanse your skin, cleanse your body, cleanse your mind, cleanse your emotions, cleanse your mind and emotions. That's what therapy is. And so, or you might have to add some things like nutrients. You might have to add some herbs. You might have to learn how to sleep better. So, all of those things. That's the healing power of nature. Number two is tole totem, treat the whole person, which means that when I see a person, I'm not looking at the sum of your parts. Unfortunately, conventional medicine is all about separating your parts, which is helpful in trying um, to to pinpoint what's going on, but it doesn't take into account the interconnectedness of all of the body, right? It does not take into account the interconnectedness of your body. It is, you know, if you have, like I mentioned before, a mental emotional trauma, that can affect your birthing experience. That can affect how you come out of quarantine. That can affect how you relate to your family members. It can affect so many different things that in conventional medicine is not necessarily seen. So if you can look at the whole person, you can figure out what is causing these things, because they may not seem connected, but they could have a really huge part of your healing. So that's Tole Totem, treat the whole person. Um, Tole Causum, treat the cause. Again, when you are looking for what is going on, you want to find out what's causing that thing. Another example is that if 10 people walked into my office, or walked into my office with a headache, there might be 10 different causes for those headaches. So I cannot say everybody needs to take ibuprofen and go about their business, because that's a band-aid. If we're trying to figure out how to decrease the amount of headaches that you have, decrease the severity, and get to the root, or even eliminate the headaches, we need to know what's causing them. Are you dehydrated? You might need to just drink some water. Are you lacking sleep? We need to learn how to optimize your sleep. Are you do you have hormonal headaches? Then we need to optimize your hormones. Are you eating a food that your body absolutely does not like, whether it is considered a healthy food or not? Then we need to change your diet. And there's so many other causes. There are a lot of tension and stress. Then we need to work on stress management techniques, allow your body to handle stress better. Did you get knocked in the head? Then we need to do something else. So that is treat the cause. So you might still get a ibuprofen or something similar, but we need to figure out what's causing your headaches. So that was treat the cause, treat the whole person, healing power of nature. There is, I'm forgetting them because right now I'm kind of hyped. Um, prevention. Prevention is better than cure. If we can figure out how to teach everyone um, how to prevent illness, it's so much easier to prevent illnesses than to try to reverse illnesses. If I remember correctly, it was I cannot remember the 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 author, but there was an author that said it is better to raise healthy children than to heal broken men. I want to say it might have been W.E.B. Du Bois, one of the, I think it might have been him or somewhere in his era. And it's very true. it is so much easier to raise a person who understands holistic health and prevention than it is to try to reverse a disease process that has started. The other principle is docere, which means doctor as teacher. And so that is part of my huge passion. And that's something that's basically what I'm doing now. um, I have taken on the responsibility, my colleagues have taken on the responsibility of teaching. So every person that comes into our office, they learn something a little more. And one way that we do that is by actually spending more time in the office with our people. So um, you get a lesson, whether that is talking to you and answering your questions about how to do the treatment, why the treatment is necessary, or what's next. There's always going to be some level of education. So those are the principles. I feel like I might be missing one, but you pretty much get the idea.
I was typing them as you was going.
All right. I saw that. Thank you.
You're so welcome, because just in case anybody is watching, I want them to be like, okay,
Yeah.
but they can take notes, because but as you was talking, I actually googled it and I found some of my own. I found lead by example, healing through love, unite of the person, and you did say prevention
Mhm.
over treatment. And it's pretty much what I read was making the treatment about the individual and not putting, just like you said, a bandage on it.
Mhm.
Because honestly, that's what conventional doctors do. Like, I've been having chest pains for years since I was 19. Every time I go to the doctor, I would say, it's nothing wrong. They did all these tests, and I'm like, okay, you're lying, because I won't be having chest pains if it's nothing wrong. So I can say sometimes conventional practices do not work. To this day,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with my chest, but that's why
And
I use
that,
that.
and that's why I say that unfortunately conventional medicine falls short in that area. Conventional medicine
Uh-huh.
is brilliant, it is very useful, but it does fall short. And that's again why I feel like holistic medicine, naturopathic medicine should be first line medicine, because if we can figure out how to get to the root of an issue, then we can prevent so many different, so much of what is going on with our healthcare system right now.
Bodies. Like, I have a cousin
Mhm.
who's a diabetic, and I personally feel if she changed her diet, I feel that she would be better off as a
Mhm.
person. Sorry, versus going through all these health issues, because I personally believe that our diet plays a major part into our bodies, like what we're going through. And I feel that sometimes it's as simple as what you're eating. And
Absolutely.
I'm struggling with that as I speak about it. My
Mhm.
friends who are watching, don't hold me to my interview, please. I am struggling with that in particular. So it's all about what we eat too.
It is.
But I do have some more good questions for you. If anybody have any questions, we did have one guest free. I mean, a roommate comment,
Hey,
and I'm assuming she knows you.
yes, yes, Dr. Kraft. Hello. Thank you, darling. Thank you.
Another doctor.
Yeah,
Hey.
she's a naturopathic doctor.
Oh, interesting. What is okay? Interesting. I got to interview her probably one day.
I think you
Okay, so
should.
that's it. Thank you. I love interviewing women, so
Yeah.
I will interview more men eventually. But as right now, I love interviewing my
If
women.
you need naturopathic doctors, I can give you a whole bunch of dope naturopathic doctors, male and female. You just let me know.
Okay, great. Because I would love it, and I think we're all learning. Okay, what are some type of treatments? I know we said therapy is one type of
Mhm.
treatment. So
Yes.
besides therapy, I did a little bit of research. I did see
Mhm.
getting the massages is also holistic health as well. Um, I found that very interesting when I saw that, because when I thought about it and I hear you talking, I pretty much got it from getting a massage as a treatment is you
Mhm.
releasing the stress and everything from your body, and now your body is becoming one with its mind, body, whatever your chakras are, and now your
Mhm.
chakras are becoming aligned. I do yoga sometimes,
Mhm.
and just listening to that, I know what one of the treatments were. I wanted to just throw a little of my knowledge out there. But what are some other treatments besides those two things?
Yeah. So now, naturopathic doctors, we do learn soft tissue techniques, and And that's basically like massage, manipulating the muscles and around, like the muscles and fascia, to help release whatever is there. That is definitely one. But the major things that we learn in naturopathic medical school, and that we use most often, because we're not always going to actually touch our patients. The first thing is, um, well, the top three, I would say, are mind, body, medicine, as what I was talking about before, because you got to get your mind right in order to actually holistically heal. And getting your mind right is different for everybody, because it depends on where their minds are, and what has happened in their past. So get your mind right. Um, as you mentioned, food. You will hear holistic health practitioners talk about food as medicine all the time, because it's true. If you think about it, um, people are eating anywhere from like 1 to 3 to 5 times a day. And when I say eating, I mean anything you put in your mouth. So that might be snacks, that might be your beverages, that might be just any of those things that you are putting in, whether it is for pleasure or for nourishment. Take that how you want to. So anything that you consume has an effect on your body. When you consume things, it is broken down into its smaller parts, and those parts get absorbed into the body, into the bloodstream, and it affects the body. Which means basically you are taking in chemicals, right? Natural chemicals, holistic chemicals, or preservatives, or things like that. But it's broken down um, into those least common denominator type parts, and those have an effect on your body. You can have brain fog, forgetfulness, pain in your left big toe, higher amounts of stress, diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol, any type of thing that's going on in your body could be caused or affected by the foods you eat. So dietary changes are absolutely necessary. It's simple, it is not easy, and that's why we all struggle with it. The next thing is, we talked about the mind body, we talked about the food, botanical medicine. So using herbs as medicine. So for those of you who are hearing me say herbs, I'm not talking about just one herb. Most people say, oh, you talking about herb, wink, wink. That too is great medicine, but there's so many more out there that are available. Holistic medicine looks like all of the herbs um, that are regional, that are culinary, and that are just available. So there's so many. And then you have hydrotherapy, using water as therapy, which can be something as simple as sitting in a hot tub of water with some Epsom salt to allow the water to help to release tension in your body. That's hydrotherapy, but there's so many other ways. There's physical medicine, which is similar to chiropractic. There's homeopathy. There is injection medicine, where you get like IV nutrients, or PRP injections. Like there's so many different types, which is why it's so cool, because we get to pull from so many different areas of holistic medicine to help that person's body heal.
That's
And
interesting.
that's it. What's that?
That's a lot of treatments.
Oh, it's a
See,
lot.
before
This
this
is why it's
interview,
a 4 year medical program that we go through. Like we are learning all of these, or a good number,
I see.
intensely for 4 years, so that we can create the optimal optimal treatment plans for the people that we come in contact with.
You know what's crazy? Okay, before this interview, y'all, I was very ignorant. Ignorant meaning lack of knowledge. Very ignorant to this topic, right? Now, I did my research before I interviewed her, of course. I always thought what you do was you just recommend herbs. Here go herbs for this, that, that. That's it. But then when I did my research, I was like, oh. And then when I talked to you, I said, oh, I've been using holistic health for almost a year now. Didn't even realize it. So I hope you guys are taking away some good things from this interview. And to answer my question, is it real or fake? It's real, because I use holistic medicine, didn't even know it into this interview. That is so funny.
Wow.
My next question, if somebody is interested in finding a holistic provider, is where can they find a holistic provider who's certified?
Yeah. So I will give you a couple of resources for naturopathic doctors. Naturopathic doctors who actually went to 4-year naturopathic medical schools, that are licensed, and and learned all of the therapies that I learned. You can go to there's a couple of directories that you can go to. Directory.indiesofcolor.com. That is one. I'm typing that right now so that you can post it. So directory.indiesofcolor.com is one place where you can find my colleagues that can help you out. There is another um, directory.blacknd.org. It is a newly formed organization of Black naturopathic physicians. And so we are actively developing our directory so that if you specifically want a Black naturopath, you can go and find one there. But those are two great directories that will help. There's other ways that you can find us, other directories, but I say those are two great ways to start. And many of us do virtual visits for some things, and so you can reach out to someone, if you can find, you can find someone in your area, or you can just reach out to somebody who you feel like you might have a connection with and see if they'll work with you virtually if they're not in your area.
I think that was a great way to answer that question, and thank you for the resources. Did you guys get those resources? I did put them on the screen for you guys. When I go behind the camera, y'all, I literally be working, typing, and everything. So if you don't see me, I may be working. So let's get to the next question. If anybody have any questions for her, please don't be afraid. Come to the stage, ask these questions. When I say come to the stage, comment below and become a roommate. That's how if you want to become a roommate, you're active. You ask questions on episodes and I'll call you a roommate. I mean, you in my room. So the next question is what made you, I think I know the answer, but what
Mhm.
made you become a doctor of this practice? Like what happened? Was you already in school to be a traditional doctor? Or like tell us the backstory behind that.
That was basically the story that I mentioned earlier. Like I said, I was a little kid and I really did want to be a doctor when I was little. I wanted to be a pediatrician before I could even say pediatrician. I would say, I want to be a baby doctor. And so my family heard me and they encouraged me and they like did whatever they could within their means to help me keep that passion and keep that alive. And so going through school, I did all of the medical science programs. The when I was in high school, when I was in junior high school, went to get my degree in biology pre med with a minor in chemistry, and that was my trajectory. But it when a person introduced me or said that I should be a naturopathic doctor, and I looked into it, it just made sense because, as I mentioned, holistic health and healing has been around as long as humans have been around, actually longer, because the trees, if you follow the biblical stories, the trees and the plants and the herbs have been around before humans were on earth. And so once we got here, we were learning to utilize those things in order to help our body, in order to help us continue living. And so to be able to um, prescribe a medication if absolutely necessary, or to be able to prescribe herbs when the case is right, I actually think is a brilliant way to utilize medicine. So just to let you know, I am not opposed to conventional medicine. I am not opposed to medication. What I'm opposed to is only using medication and not working with the body to help the body heal. So when I was able to prescribe, I had one prescription pad that I had well over a year because I would often forget to prescribe medications. And it wasn't always necessary. In certain situations, it was. So, if a person is in acute distress, if a person is beyond the scope of what an herb can do right now, absolutely, you need a medication so that you don't die. or so that you don't get worse. But let's not stop there. Let's figure out again the root cause and see what your body needs so that we can hopefully get you off of that medication, or at minimum help you need less of that medication and live a more vibrant life, a more vital life. And we can do that by working with your body holistically, mind, body, spirit, emotions, to help your body heal. Because if you give the body the right tools, healing is inevitable. That is what your body wants to do. And so this is what made me become a doctor in holistic medicine.
Well, the herbs have been around a long time, so can't really argue with that. That is a very true statement.
And a lot of our
I know most people
medications are
watching this
based
episode think about,
from herbs.
right. A lot of people, they hear the word herb, they think about weed.
Exactly.
It's so many more herbs out there than weed.
That's
Weed is
just one.
just a
And
very well known
and
herb.
again, marijuana, cannabis is beautiful medicine. It is absolutely beautiful medicine in the right situation. It is not a heal all. It is not going to take you from, your deathbed to nirvana. It's not going to do it. It might make you feel like you do, but it's not going to do it. I mean, but herbs are something as simple as rosemary. Rosemary has beautiful holistic properties that is not just tasty. It is, but we use things like, rosemary and ginger and turmeric
Don't
and
forget
all
the
of
time.
thyme and even other dandelion and like there's so many out there that we can name. We don't have time to name them all. And all of those have a place, and if you understand herbs, you can use them by themselves, you can use them in combination, and you can see such great healing if you use them along with whatever else your body needs. Again, you might need to just get more rest. You might need to drink more water. You might need some more sun. You might need to stop eating certain things. You might need to get out of certain relationships or leave certain jobs that cause you high amounts of stress. There's so many different ways that herbs can help. But you want to be with someone who's knowledgeable of the herbs and is not just going to say, everybody needs this one thing.
You know what? That gets right to my next question. So my next question, I'm gonna make it. I have two questions for you. So I'm gonna make it one question. What does a holistic doctor do, and what is a holistic doctor? So you're gonna see me in the audience, you guys. You're gonna see me go through both questions, but I answered both questions at one time.
So a
You,
holistic doctor is a doctor who looks at each person individually. Well, for one, a holistic doctor is one who has gone through training to understand the body in depth and understand conventional and holistic treatment methods in depth so that we can use them in particular combinations for each individual to help their bodies heal, because that's the goal, is to help your body heal. What we do, we first of all, we take much more time than you're accustomed to with your conventional doctor when we're doing our intake. If you go to a naturopathic physician, if you go to a naturopathic physician, you'll generally be in a consultation anywhere from 45 minutes to 2 hours. If you are a new client or a new patient, usually it'll be like an hour and a half to 2 hours. We're getting all of the back information from you about your history, your lifestyle, what traumas have happened, what disease processes, family history, all of that. And we're learning more about your current condition. What are your habits, your traditions? What are you doing? What are you not doing? So that we can create this protocol for you. And protocol will be usually individualized to each person, and it'll include many of the things that I already talked about as holistic therapies. And we put that in a plan and give it to you so that your body can start to heal. Now, with that in mind, you're probably going to need to have several different protocols over time, because as your body continues to move forward, other things are going to start unraveling. So you can start to, remove, it's kind of like an onion, remove one layer of healing and then something else crops up. And then you have to change the plan to fit that need. And then you heal that level. And then you might have the next thing. So it's similar to therapy. And for those of you who've been through therapy, you might you might go to a therapist with one thing, so anger management, for example, and you learn some techniques to help you deal with your anger better. And then, after some weeks or some months, you learn using your techniques, and you're not getting as angry as quickly, and whatever negative effects from anger, whether they're physical, mental, emotional, um, you don't feel those anymore. But then something else crops up. Your knee starts hurting. And you're like, well, what's going on with that? Okay, well, maybe you didn't know about your knee pain because you were so in your head with that anger that you couldn't focus on it. But now that that's gone, you can focus on the other thing that's going on. So now let's create a new plan to help you deal with that. And so that is basically how holistic medicine, naturopathic medicine works. Is we give you these plans that you have to actively work through to help your body heal. And then as time goes on, your plan might shift your because your situation shifts. And so that's the list. This is the last thing I want to say about this particular thing is when you get a plan from a holistic health practitioner, from a naturopathic doctor, you're going to have to do some work. Gone are the days where you go to the doctor prescribes you a medication, you take the medication, and that's all you do. And then you go back to 6 to 12 months later to get another prescription. That's not working. Obviously, it's not working because you're still not getting to where you want to be. Your health goals are not being achieved. In many cases, you're getting worse. The next time you go to the doctor, you might have to have another medication, or you might have to have a stronger medication. You have to be more active, and that might mean getting your mind right, changing your mindset, changing your diet, changing your habits and traditions, changing, doing more than you're accustomed to, like exercising, moving more, or doing eating differently. Like, you have to be more active in order for your body to achieve the healing. So that's basically what it looks like to go to a naturopathic doctor.
So the next question is, which I think we should know this answer by now, roommates. But just in case you're just tuning in, and just in case you wasn't listening, what does a holistic doctor do?
So aside from what I mentioned, what a holistic doctor does and what a naturopathic doctor does, it really depends on the doctor. It depends on their location. It depends on their passion and their training. So, like when someone works with me, I primarily focus on lifestyle, diet, and herbs to help their body heal. And if there's anything else that I feel is necessary, I'll probably refer them, like recommend that they go to see this type of practitioner about certain things. So I use my knowledge and refer them out, or recommend that they go to other places. But depending on where you are, you might have doctors who actually do physical medicine. And again, that is similar to chiropractic. You might have doctors who do more soft tissue therapy, which is similar to massage. You might have doctors who do more IV therapies and injection therapies, like giving IV nutrients or doing PRP or things like that. You might have doctors who do more mind body medicine, who do more counseling and therapy type medicine. So it really varies depending on the doctor that you're seeing, and what their practice looks like. But the overall theme is that they're going to see a patient, they're going to take into account their entire picture and create that holistic plan to help their body heal.
I kind of figured that. Please keep in mind, I was asking when I was typing these questions and thinking, I didn't know anything about this topic, and I love interviewing guests where I'm ignorant on the topic because I don't want to always interview guests and they agree with my point of view. Because what type of talk show slash internet talk show is that? And I have been learning. like, so my next question is kind of redundant after this point, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
All right.
What does a holistic doctor do that traditional doctors do not? That doesn't. Like, I think I know the answer to this. I'm gonna go ahead and answer. I think, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. They don't treat the body as one. They don't treat the individual. Holistic doctors treat the individual, and the traditional doctors just write you off with a medicine and they tell you, see you in 6 months. Here goes more medicine. So, am I right when I just said that?
That's pretty much it. Now you will find more conventional doctors who are more holistically minded, and they'll start to get more training in things like mind body medicine, nutrition, herbal medicine, and they'll start to utilize those in their practice. So you're starting to see more of that. But overall, you will get about 15 minutes with your doctor. With a good doctor, you'll get 15 minutes if they make the time. And usually it's like 7 or 8 minutes with the doctor. um, but honestly, the
I
way,
love my doctor, but I don't get a lot of time with her. She's
right.
like, "Hey, Miss Jordan, da 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 da, go over my chart, da 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 da, bye." And I'd be like,
And
"God,
unfortunately,
Lee,
that's the paradigm in which she works. Like that's just the way she has to practice.
it's very impersonal."
Right, right. And so that's a major difference. With conventional medicine, most often, again, you have holistically minded doctors, so I'm not, shunning them, but most of the time they have a script. So if you come in with a headache, try this medication. You still have a headache, try this medication. You come back and you still have it, we might increase the doses, or we might go ahead and scan you to see what's wrong. And like you said, if we don't find anything wrong, either we're going to keep giving you medication or we're going to tell you that you're faking it and diagnose you with something else, or we're going to try to cut into you. So like that's basically how that ends up being. But with
I haven't
and
had
it
that yet.
depends on what the thing is. I'll tell you a short story. One of my colleagues, she
Mhm.
she was actually one of my students because I taught at the naturopathic medical schools. One of the things that she told me was that before she even considered becoming a naturopathic doctor, she had like these really horrible, intractable headaches. Like it was bad. It was so bad. So she went to her primary care doctor, back and forth. They couldn't figure out what it was. That doctor referred her to a neurologist. Neurologist did whatever testing they did, could not figure it out. Long story short, recommended was like, well, we might need to cut open your head and take part of your brain. And she was like, is that gonna cure my headaches? They were like, we don't know, because we still don't know what's wrong, but that's the option that we're given. And of course she was like, no, you're not cutting into my brain, please and thank you. She went and found a holistic doctor, a naturopathic doctor. And one of the things that the doctor said was, oh, you're under a lot of stress, I want you to start to journal. And it was through journaling that she discovered, she didn't even realize it, black woman, the superwoman syndrome. She didn't realize how much stress she was under, how many things she was dealing with. And so she started to realize that through journaling. And then her and her doctor also did some other things, right? So there might have been some physical medicine involved, some herbs, some sleep, learning how to optimize sleep, eating better, like other things could have been involved. But the thing that she said was very impactful was journaling and figuring out what was going on in her life and then starting to deal with those things. Headaches went away. Headaches went away. Now, had she not gone to that holistic doctor, she would have been minus part of her brain. She probably still would have had headaches, and she wouldn't have been a naturopathic doctor. So this is what holistic medicine is. And when we say treat the cause, that literally means figure out what is going on. And you can't do that in a 5-7 minute visit. I mean, unless you're really in tune to your patient, your person. But it's not until you start getting more in depth with the person that you can figure out what their bodies need. She didn't need ibuprofen. She didn't need medication for that. She needed to figure out that she was highly stressed and learn stress management techniques so that her body is not dealing with that amount of tension. She let it go. She worked through it. And again, that she didn't have to have her brain cut open. Stress is absolutely a major catalyst for other health problems. Absolutely. A colleague and I actually have started doing twice a week um, uh, rooms on Clubhouse that have to deal with stress because of that. Like, we don't realize just how impactful stress is on our health in so many different areas. And so that is twice a week we talk about stress and how it's impacting our bodies in different ways and what we can do about it because it's that important. Absolutely.
I just learned a lot. Maybe my chest pains may come from stress. Because remember, I told you I have been having them for a long time, and the doctors can't. They tell me I'm healthy. They can't find anything wrong. But you know what's funny? Doing this whole episode, y'all, I've been having chest pains. So I've been over here breathing, doing my breathing exercises because my chest is really hurting.
Hmm.
Right, as I'm talking right now, it's not. But that's why when you say anybody saw me doing this, I was breathing because my chest is hurting. That's the only thing I can do for my chest pains. Because, like I told my family, I don't see the point of me going back to the doctor for they could keep telling me, "You're normal, you're fine, you're healthy." I'm like, okay, but I'm having chest pains.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to get a holistic
Yeah.
doctor. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, it may be stress. I don't
I mean, I
know,
would
but
always, again, I believe that everybody needs a naturopathic doctor on their healthcare team. So first of all, I think everybody needs a healthcare team. Um, and when I say team, I usually mean, and I actually have created a handout about this. So, or I'm creating one, I should say. A healthcare team includes your primary care doctor, so that point person that you go to for whatever is going on in your life. They need to be sort of like the quarterback. If that primary care doctor is not a naturopathic physician, then you need a naturopathic physician on your team, somebody who knows holistic medicine and conventional medicine and can sort of navigate both worlds optimally. You need a therapist or counselor, somebody who's going to help you with the mental part of your health, help you navigate all the things that life is thrown at you. Even if your life has been perfect up until now, you just dealt with a year of a global pandemic where everybody was shut down. That's traumatic. We cannot downplay that. You might need a therapist to help you deal with all of this last year plus that we've been dealing with this. So that's a mental health practitioner. A spiritual practitioner, that might be a minister, a imam, that might be whomever it is. It does not matter. Whatever spiritual belief you gravitate toward, find you a guide, a therapist, a guide in that area. So a spiritual health guide, a financial person. You need someone who educates you about finances and someone who's going to help you increase your income, decrease your debt, and figure out how to put your money in the right places so that it is optimal for you. And then things like an eye doctor, a dentist, and whatever other specific things we have for our needs. All of those people need to be on your healthcare team. You won't necessarily develop the all-star team immediately, but having that in mind and starting to put those people in place is going to be most beneficial for you. And then just know that as you move through life, the players might change. Your football teams don't always stay the same. Your basketball teams don't always stay the same because abilities and needs change. So you might have to switch out your person as things develop in your life. But get a healthcare team so that you can have all the players in part for all the pieces of your life so that you can optimize your health. And if you want to get a copy of that when I'm finished with it, go ahead and shoot me a inbox message on Instagram, and once it's completed, I'll get that to you.
so my question is, do insurance help pay for your holistic doctor?
It depends on the insurance plan and it depends on the state. So, unfortunately, every state does not recognize naturopathic doctors. So, in the states that do recognize naturopathic doctors, some insurance plans actually do the cover the visits. Um,
What are some of the states, if you know them?
so, I know a few. There's Arizona, New Mexico, California,
Of
uh,
course, California.
um, Oregon, Washington State, and then on the East Coast, there's the DMV area, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and those are the ones that I remember.
I didn't hear not one South state.
You sure didn't.
I was like, wait. I knew Georgia was on that list because it took Georgia forever to get the lottery. Plus, it took us forever to start selling alcohol on Sundays. So I already knew Georgia is not on that list. So, I mean, it was common sense for me, but I didn't hear not one southern state. Not one southern
Not at
state.
all.
Mm, mm. Okay, then. So, you guys,
But
we're about to wrap up this interview.
even in those states, like you can still work with a naturopathic doctor. They may not be able to do everything that we're trained to do, but they can still support you and help your body heal because the
Okay.
information is still the same. We just may not be able to do it.
Okay, that's good information to know. My last and final question, unless anybody in the audience have any questions for her, what should we look for? And what are the qualifications we should look for in a holistic doctor? Like, I want to know.
I would say the biggest one, if you're looking for a naturopathic doctor, is to look for one who went to one of the accredited naturopathic medical schools. Like I said, there are 6 in the US, there are 2 in Canada, there's 1 in Puerto Rico. Someone who has studied at those schools and completed that education, took the licensing exams, passed them, and is licensed. That is the number one thing that you want to look for. And then when you're talking to doctors, you want to make sure that they are a good fit for you. So think about it like anything that you are working on, any service industry. We are working for you. You are our customer, and we're working for you. And so it's important that you feel comfortable with us, we feel comfortable with you, and that we can work together. So having a conversation with them to make sure that they can, that you are comfortable with them, that you feel like they're knowledgeable about the thing that you need help with, and that they can walk and guide you through that process is key. But start off with finding figuring out their level of education and licensing and all of that stuff.
I think you answered that question really good. I did not know it was just 6 schools. I personally think I learned a lot today. Do any of the roommates have any questions for her before we end this amazing episode?
So while you're waiting for questions to come in,
Sure.
can I talk about my book?
Sure. Girl. Yes.
Awesome.
She's an author, y'all.
Yes.
Support
Yes.
Black authors.
So
Y'all know I'm big on that. I'm an author too.
please. So, some of my colleagues and I came together and we actually wrote what I feel, and I'm a little biased, but I feel is a dope book called The Black Woman's Healthopedia. What we did was we took our areas of expertise, we looked at some of the most common health concerns that Black women face, and we put it in a book talking about the condition itself, as well as some things that you can start doing at home to help your body heal, and then talk about some of the things that we as naturopathic physicians can help you with. And so tomorrow is the release date for the ebook. This is the book. I'm so excited. This is the book. So tomorrow's the release date for the ebook, and the physical book will be released July 13th. But you can pre-order both of those books right now. Um, and if you want to join me, I am doing, or we are all doing, a virtual book release tomorrow at 12 noon Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be doing a book release talking about the book and the process of, just the writing of the book and why we think it's beneficial, answering as many questions as we can. And you can join me on my platforms. I'll be live on Instagram and Facebook. Actually, I might do Clubhouse as well, talking about it. But yeah, you can go to health-o-pedia.com and get the ebook. And like I said, you'll be able to pre order the physical book and learn some of the ways that you can help your body heal. And again, it's a dope book. My mom started reading the book. My mom's not, uh, I don't want to say she's not a big reader, but like when I say my mama picked up the book and she was like, "Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I'm learning so much." Even though she knows a lot because of me, she's learning a lot from the people that are in the book. So make sure that you are joining me tomorrow. Get the ebook, start reading it, post a review about the ebook, and then you can order the physical book if you feel like it's going to be beneficial for you. And I believe that it will. Absolutely. Yep, that's my book. In this book, it's you'll see on that profile that it says that this is our love letter to you, and it really is because um, the the doctors that wrote it and our goal is to help Black women heal. We are under a lot of stress. We're under a lot of pressure. The health disparities for Black women is out of this world. It is like ridiculous. How much worse we are off than other people in the US or in the world, actually. And so getting control of our health holistically is going to be the key to helping to improve the health outcome of Black women in general. So learning some of those mindset shifts, learning some of those traditions and habits that need to be modified or completely changed. That's going to be key. But the first thing is understanding that your body has this awesome ability to heal, and as long as you're alive, your body is healing. Your body is working to keep you alive. And so your job becomes to learn what your body needs and to start giving it what it needs so that it can do that job more optimally. We don't have to be sick. We don't have to be as sick as we are. We can decrease some of the illnesses. We can eliminate some of the illnesses. Hypertension can heal. Diabetes, especially type 2, can heal. Um, High cholesterol can heal. Like these things can heal. We don't know that because we don't see it. We don't know that because conventional medicine doesn't promote it. And part of the problem is that conventional medicine doesn't see it. Medications are not designed to help a body heal. Medications are designed to keep you alive and to keep you out of imminent danger. But that's not designed to help your body heal, which is why holistic medicine is more of an active type medicine. It is a medicine where you actually have to do some things. And it's not always pleasant, it's not always easy. It's simple, it's not always easy. So there's that. The Black Woman's Healthopedia.
I want to say I love the name.
Thank you.
That's why I took the time to actually share the screen because I was looking at it. I said, let me look it up. And I actually like the name of the book. So I
Yeah.
don't know about everybody else, but I think that's gonna be a good buy for us Black women and black men too. We're not excluding men.
Yeah.
Black men, you can buy the book too, and you guys can learn as we all learn what is better for our bodies. Our body is our only temple that we have to make sure we can't never get a new body. We can get new hair, we can get new clothes, but we only have one body. So let's take better care of our bodies. And I don't want nobody to hold me accountable when I'm about to go eat some junk food. 'Cause I got a friend who gonna hold me accountable to this. So
So I will say this: the things that are in the book, It's not just for Black women. It is us talking directly to Black women, but all women can benefit from it. All people can benefit from it. The only thing that differs from men and women and men, on a macro scale is the genitalia, right? And so your reproductive systems need some slightly different work. But overall, a lot of the things that we talk about can be utilized by everyone. And if you have a woman in your life, you probably need to know these things to help her live better. You probably, and to help you live better, because if she is living an optimal life, a healthy life, a happy life, you're going to feed on that. She's going to be able to do more in the community. She's going to be able to do more of the things that she wants to do, and do it with more love, and do it with more joy, and do it with more energy. And who does not want that? Right? We want to be vital. We want to be energetic. We want to be able to move through the world with joy, and just being sprinkling some black girl magic dust all over the place. And the only way to really, really do that is to have optimal health. And so that is why we wrote this love letter to you. This is actually the second book in the Healthopedia series. The first one was the Black Family Healthopedia, and there's some things in that one, of course, that are not in this one, so you can get both books. There are other books in the future. We're going to talk about men's health, specifically Black men. We'll talk about LGBTQ health, children's health. Like, we're going to do several of them, but right now the focus is healing the Black woman.
You know what? I always let people. I can do a whole episode on healing the Black woman. I can do a whole episode on that, because I don't think people realize that Black women go through way more. And I don't care if I ever get successful and get famous, and this is used against me. Black women go through more than any other race. And the reason why I say that, first off, we're scrutinized against our skin tone, number one. Then we're
Mm-hmm.
scrutinized against wearing a bonnet to the airport, thanks to Monique. We're scrutinized to from wearing pajamas to the airport, thanks to Monique. We're also scrutinized for our hair. Certain hairstyles are not professional. Certain hairstyles are too ethnic. Do you understand how that feels to be a Black woman and you go to work and you cute and your HR tell you that your hair is too epic? That has happened to me. Yes,
Wow.
that has happened to me. Do you understand, the Black woman, us wearing our fro, we are unprofessional? That has happened to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so Black women go through more than any other woman in this world. And I stand 10 toes down on what I just said. Because first off, we have learned to mask our emotions. We have learned to, if we're going through something, we have to take care of the world. We got the world on our back. We got to pay bills. We got to do this. We don't never take time to heal ourselves because we're too busy fighting the battle. But I'm gonna stop right there. When you you
And it
you brought that out, because
and it's so real, though. It's so real, and that's why we wanted to make sure that we wrote this love letter. We wanted to write this book because it's real, and that's not just you talking. That is statistics. That um, just about every single condition that happens, Black folks got it worse, and generally, Black women have it worse than that. That's not in everything, but in a good number of things. And so, if we can start to get a handle on it and work more collectively to heal, then things can
Mhm.
start to shift. I mean, we are already mighty. Imagine how much more mighty we are if we are healthier, holistically healthy, mind, body, and spirit.
Mm.
Imagine how much more Black girl magic we could
Imagine how
sprinkle
powerful
around
we will
those
be. We're already powerful. Man, we're powerful. But imagine how
places.
much powerful we will be if we knew how to heal our bodies naturally and not use other people medicine. I ain't gonna get too deep into that conversation because I know some people probably ain't ready for that. But I tell people all the time, like, I am pro Black, and me being so passionate about Black people, it may come off to you that I'm anti-white, but baby girl, I am not anti-white. I just believe in what I believe in, and I believe that Black people go through stuff harder than any other race in this world, and nobody can never tell me anything differently unless they show me facts. But I know the numbers, and we go through things way more than any other race. But
And it's
I'm most definitely gonna buy a book.
all right, and I thank you. I
You're
thank you.
welcome.
So yeah, it's definitely true that we walk through the world very differently from other people, and that is globally. And we need to start figuring out what it is that we can do, because we can't depend on other people. What it is that we can do to help optimize our lives, optimize our health, and in order to be able to grow to the potential that we have, to be able to grow to do all of the wonderful things in greater amounts than we already do.
And just have a better lifestyle, live a better lifestyle. And then we can break generational curses and pass it to our kids and they pass it to their kids. It's a bigger picture, but people have to have that mind. I say this every episode. People got to have that mindset change to understand where they're going in life. You can't stay stuck forever. If you
No.
if you if you think about it, you pondering about what happened last week, and that week is already gone. What are
Hmm.
you doing to make that week better? I tell you, my mindset has changed within that doing pandemic to now. Like I'd be looking at people like that doesn't make sense. Why are we talking about what happened 3 weeks ago?
Right, right,
I'm
right.
confused. You didn't move on from that like mindset over everything. That's what I'm
It's
going to say.
necessary.
But did anybody have any questions? No, thank you. I agree. Your mindset is necessary. It's so important to change your mindset. That's what I'm trying to do now with this.
Bring the questions. Don't
Huh?
let 'em. I'm saying, y'all, whoever's watching, bring the questions. I am here. I'm available. I love teaching. Teaching is part of my passion. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but teaching is my passion, and I want people to get the information that they need. At least, even if it's like that beginner information to kind of get your toe wet, so that you can get um, exposed, and your fire can be lit so that you can start to pursue a better life. Ask the questions. I'm here. I'm here.
This is what normally happens. If they don't ask questions, my guests tell me that my roommates normally DM them privately or they would go on your website because I'm trying to have to ask you no questions because I thought it was a good topic. Because first off, a lot of people look at holistic health as a hoax. So I was think people want to ask you questions, but apparently they okay. I think we have one come in. Let me double check.
So about it being a hoax, so part of the problem
But
with that, I'll answer that in just a second. Leave it up so I can read it. But part of the problem with the whole holistic medicine being a hoax is that everything is not for everybody. And individualizing medicine, it's hard to quantify sometimes what is real and what is not. I might tell you to do something that I know for a fact can help, but if I give it if the wrong person does it, or a person who doesn't need it does it, then it doesn't seem like it's real. Or if I'm trying to give everybody the same thing, and talking about it's going to cure everything in your life, well, that ain't realistic. So just know that a lot of people say it's a hoax because of that ignorance, and that's part of that is a lack of knowledge, and part of it is people using it incorrectly. So that's why going to someone who knows this information is going to be more helpful. Now, to answer your question, is holistic journey good for teens on the autistic spectrum? I'm going to say that holistic journey is necessary for everybody. If you want a person to be healthy and whole, then living a more holistically healthy lifestyle is important. Starting it early is key, because remember the quote that I talked about earlier. Um, uh, and I have to paraphrase because I don't remember it specifically, but growing healthy children is better than healing sick men. And like I said, I think it's W.E.B. Du Bois who said that. But if you can raise a child that knows and understands what vegetables are, how to cook vegetables, how to eat with the seasons, teach them how to do some deep breathing, let them understand the importance of exercise and body movement. Getting them to learn more about um, their emotions, and normalizing mental health therapies and sleep and things like that. that is going to make them a much happier and healthier adult. Again, so talking about the autistic spectrum, there are certain things that children or people on the autistic spectrum need. I wouldn't be that doctor that would be able to help you with that. I can do some basic things, but there are naturopathic doctors out there who specialize in children, and families that are on the spectrum. So, doing those general things is definitely going to be healthy and helpful. But then seeking that person on your team that knows specifically how to navigate that particular thing is also going to be key. And so when I talked about building a healthcare team, that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. I also wanted to learn more for myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's necessary. So, again, you as a mother, right, or as a mother figure for the community, whatever community you're in, you need to be healthy so you can do all the dope things that you are meant to do. And so, again, holistic lifestyle, holistic journey is beneficial for everyone, preconception to death, the entire cycle. And that's why I believe that holistic health, holistic medicine should be first line medicine, because we can help your body avoid a lot of the conditions that we have, or help to minimize a lot of what we go through.
Charlene, you know what's funny? I wanted to ask that question myself, but I decided not to. And then here you are. I got to get off live, and you ask that question. I want to know the same thing because I see you said you have a son, and
Mm-hmm.
he's 14-year-old and he's non-verbal. My
Mm-hmm.
son is 4 and he's non-vocal. You probably hear me use that on my podcast
Mm-hmm.
more than non-verbal. But I feel your pain. I was thinking the same thing. We was thinking, but I decided not to ask her that. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to ask her. I'm just going to Google it later.
Oh, that's fine. And that's why I say just ask, because it's better for someone who knows to tell you than for you to spend a bunch of time trying to figure it out and possibly not coming to the answer that you need.
That's why I found
Um,
it funny that she asked. But this
yeah.
this this is
So
her answer. She said doctors
there's,
don't seem to believe in natural holistic roles. They don't make the time to listen. I, as a mom that is also a special needs mom, I agree, but I
mhm.
made them give me time. I'd be like, wait, we need to talk about this issue. You moving too fast. I tried to tell them, hey, you moving a little too fast for me. Can we slow this down? And most of the time they listen and I don't have no problems, but I agree with that. But I have never asked his daughters about the natural or holistic roads. That's more of
And they
my best
might not
friend.
they might not know. Unfortunately, they
Mm-mm.
might not know, and they might not be on board, and that's a part of it. There's one colleague that I know of, and for some reason her name is blank. I'm blanking on her name, but I'm looking at her face in my mind. She specializes in children on the autistic spectrum, so I can definitely put you in contact with her, and she might, be a great guest, for your show, especially since that impacts you. But
Yes.
her passion is, children on the autistic spectrum. I mean, there's one colleague that I can think of whose passion is children on the Down, who has Down syndrome, because she has a daughter with Down syndrome. Again, there is a practitioner that can touch almost every aspect of your life, and if the practitioner does not know that specific thing, we can still work with you. Like, I can still do some work with children or adults on the spectrum. I just don't have the knowledge and the depth of knowledge to go deep into it. But there are certain things that all human bodies need, and that's the way I can support you. So absolutely, I'm glad you asked that question, because there's definitely someone that can help you. And if you send me a DM on Instagram, I can share with you her name.
Please, you know what? When you get off here, I need you to actually DM me because I
Yeah.
would love to interview her for my season 4. I think that would be a
Okay.
great episode. Because I actually was not going to bring up autism today. I said no, not today. I'm gonna be quiet. Everybody know I'm a proud advocate, so I'm just gonna not gonna say anything. But thank you, Shirlene, for answering that question because I was not going to ask today. But that was an amazing question. So I just want to give you a good gif right quick. Give me a second. Cause girl, hold on. I gotta
Thank
find
you
my
for the question.
favorite gif
Thank
for
you
you.
for the question, Shirley.
Here you go,
Yes, yes.
Sherlyn. You're so welcome. Cause I was thinking it the whole time, and I was like, no, I'm not going to answer. I'm just gonna learn about what holistic health is. I'm
When
not
I
going to
say
answer.
just go ahead and ask the questions, I absolutely mean it. Like, ask
Yes.
me because I feel like, well, we already know we die, we get worse, we die, we
Hmm.
suffer unnecessarily because we don't know things, right? Bible verse, lack of knowledge. And so you have me here. Go on and ask me the questions. Go on and ask. I'm glad you're not shy. Thank you.
Right. And you know what's funny? I'm not shy at all, but
I know.
I'm far from shy, but I know since I am an advocate, I talk about it so much. I'm like, okay, I don't want to talk about it today. Well, I talk about it every day, honestly. But I said I'm not gonna bring it up on this episode today. And you made me bring it up. So hey, I guess God was like, nope. You say you're an advocate, so I'm gonna need you to bring that back, and you did that. So thank you for
And
asking that question.
I'm looking down now. I'm trying to see if I can find her contact information before we get off. If not, like I said, I can definitely share it because her name is blanking, and I hate that that's happening. But
What
yeah,
state is he
yeah,
based in?
somewhere on the East Coast. But I want to say she does telemedicine as well, so she can still support you wherever you are.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
great.
yeah, I'll just get that information to you because I can't find her
Okay,
information.
that's cool.
Wait,
Sounds good.
wait. I did. All right. So if you go to Instagram, her name is Dr. Sharon Alston, and I will type that in for you so that you can type it in. It
Great.
is Dr. Sharon Shyrronalston Alston, and her Instagram handle is B Balanced BELANCED on Instagram. So Dr. Sharon Alston, Be Balanced ND on Instagram, and she says, I help autistic peeps maximize their health and potential. There you go. We all connected in some way. I'm thankful I'm listening here. And I'm thankful that you are here. I'm definitely thankful for you.
And yeah, I'm
Definitely.
thankful that you're listening too. I love seeing different roommates pop in every week and people finding my internet talk show because every week I have a different guest to talk about different topics, and it's very important that I keep continuing to shine a light on small businesses and small indie artists as well because that is my passion. And I did put her information below. If you need to jot that down, if you since you, I'm not sure you're on YouTube, no, you on Facebook. You can just copy and paste it, and I also did put on Facebook, so you can just copy and paste it if you need to. So did anybody else have any other good questions? Just because I don't have no
Please ask.
questions. Yes, please ask
Please
her before
ask.
we get off live, you guys.
I love doing this. I love doing
Thank
this. This.
you. I'm happy that you answered to do my show. A lot of
Oh
times
yeah.
doctors, but they don't even give my show a chance. They like, let me Google it. And then when they go, I'm like, you must think I'm talking about. I had one guest thought I was going to talk about SEX. And I was like, no.
I thought you were too, but I was cool with that. Like, let's get it.
Then I had said, did you not watch at least one or two episodes or go listen? No, I said, then they came back, oh, I like your show. Oh, thank you. I don't talk about SEX. It has to be what you specialize in for me to talk about it. If you don't
And of course,
specialize in it,
I
if you don't
have a
specialize
doctor.
in it, huh?
I have a doctor. I know I have a colleague who does actually in the book. So this wait, where is it? This doc right here, she specializes in optimizing sex. So when you get the book, you'll read the chapter that actually says that the title of the chapter is "Let's Talk About Sex, Baby," because she specializes in it. And so, again, what you need, I got you. I feel like a dealer. What you need, I got you. I got you. I
I
got you.
can't think of the name of that movie when it was I can't think of the person name. His lips was white and he was like he was talking like a I'm sorry, that was funny. I don't know if anybody caught my joke, but
if you crackhead in need of us some holistic healing, I'm your dealer. I
You
could
know what
give you
movie I'm
what
talking about with the guy with the white lips, and
I
it
keep
was a
thinking
funny
of
moment.
Dave Chappelle. So I'm not thinking of a movie, but I'm thinking of Dave Chappelle.
I think it was Dave Chappelle. Don't ask me. I don't be knowing. But since somebody else have no more questions for my beautiful guest, I do want you guys to follow her on Instagram. I'm putting her information back up as I speak. And this is her website right here. If you're listening, it's DrTursha.com if you're on listening to the podcast side. And the same thing for Instagram is DrTursha on all social medias. You guys can follow her. You can DM her. She's very likable. And you say you're from Arizona. So you can
Oh,
you're in a good
yes.
state.
Arizona, you are in a good space. I
Yes.
actually trained in Arizona. So, one of the naturopathic medical schools is in Tempe. And so, that is where we are fully licensed. So, in Arizona, naturopathic doctors are considered primary care doctors. So, whatever you can go to your regular primary care doctor for, you can go to your naturopathic doctor for, and not only get the conventional side with all the testing and the minor surgery and the IV therapeutics, but you can also get all of the holistic things. And so there is that and of course there's a concentration of them for you. So if you're in the Phoenix Tempe area, you can go to the Naturopathic Medical School, Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine, and let the student doctors work on you and work with you, or you can find an independent doctor in town and go there. So again, if you go to one of those directories, the NDs of Color or the Black ND directory, there are docs in Arizona there, and they can definitely work with you.
I just told her she was in a good state. When the moment I seen Arizona, I said, "Girl, you got a good state." Because that's the first one she said. When I asked,
Uh-huh.
because she named some states, she said Arizona, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Arizona." And I was listening. I was listening to her, y'all. Like, okay, well, I said she didn't say no southern state. She didn't say Georgia. I
No,
mean,
now there are
mm,
naturopathic doctors in Georgia.
I
So like
figured that.
there's several there, but they can't do the totality of what we can do. And it's fine because like I can't do the totality of what I can do. But people can still see great results with what we can do. And then what I can't do, I know how to recommend that you go to other people. Like the other day, um, a couple weeks ago, I helped somebody get diagnosed with hyperthyroid, Graves' disease. I was like, you need to go get that checked. When she went to her doctor was like, oh, when we did tests, we didn't see anything wrong. But since you asked, I'm paraphrasing what I think happened. Since you asked, let's go get some imaging. Imaging showed just what I was suspecting. So, again, it doesn't have to be me or one of my colleagues acting in a primary care role for you to be able to get benefit. You just need to connect with the right doctor that is going to help you through whatever it is that you need.
Okay, I'm most definitely gonna look into that for my chest pains because the
Hmm.
traditional doctors are not working. Not for me at least.
Yeah.
For me at least. And I go to the doctor. I make sure I'm healthy and all that good stuff. But with that being stated, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed my episode today. I really hope you guys liked it. This was the Bedroom Talk Show. My name is Crystal J. I go live every Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, I do want to make an announcement. Next month will be my final season for season 3, and I will go on a 2-month break, and I'll be back in September with more guests. So I want to make sure everybody get prepared for me to go on a 2-month hiatus. All right. So Dr.
And that's what we watch the old episodes.
I got
Catch
plenty
up on
episodes. I got 40. I got 40.
oh,
Like it's season
oh,
3. I haven't missed a beat. But check out her. If you listen to my podcast or you watch, I want you to check out her books. Please go to Amazon. It's on Amazon. It'll drop. She said tomorrow. So
tomorrow.
support that, and Juneteenth, support that heavy. Juneteenth is coming up. Now we should all know what that is. We need to find at least one black business we need to support this week or this weekend. And if you want to be superwoman, support at least 4 this weekend. And it was like I said, I'm your host, Crystal J, and I'm out.